Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Listen, this is the end of the season. This is the reunion part three. Listen. We're just gonna talk, okay? So, I watched the Peacock version. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was saying how I always forget about Peacock. Um, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Anytime I watch these shows, it's usually because they're recorded, and so I never think to go to Peacock. But due to the conversation that we had, Peacock crossed my mind. So I was like, let me just watch the Peacock version. So, anyways, it basically started off with Sutton and Dorit, and Dorit saying that Sutton um, likes to buy people. Sutton asked her who has she tried to buy. Dorit didn't have an answer. Now, in the after show, she said that um, she bought Garcelle. Listen, do I believe that Sutton has tried to buy some of her friendships? I do. I'm not gonna say her a lot, but I remember when Sutton first got on the show, Sutton was buying like $2,000 handbags for the girls. Now, girl, why are you walking around here buying like what I'm saying? Like, do you really think that Kyle Richards, who has a closet full of Hermes bags, needs this bag from you know what I'm saying? So I definitely can understand why Dorit um, believes that Sutton does try and buy friendships because to a certain degree, I believe she does too. I believe that Sutton is, the awkward girl, and I do believe that Sutton. We're gonna get into Sutton in a little bit. She definitely wants to sit with the cool girls. She definitely does. Um, but yeah, I do believe that Sutton does try or has tried to buy some of her friendships, especially the friendships on this show. Girl, here we go. Listen, this is just my opinion. Um, this is just my opinion. Bose. I put Bose pulls the race card. I remember Garcelle's first season on Beverly Hills at the reunion. Kyle, long story short, y'all already know Kyle called out Garcelle for not paying her bill. And I think it was an oversight with someone who works on Garcelle's team. I can't remember the ins and outs, but Garcelle tried to pull the you can't say that because it paints kind of like black women or black people with the brush of not paying their bills. And I remember saying, "Well, girl, we're at the reunion. And if Cal has some dirt on you, if you ain't paid your bill, you ain't paid your bill. Girl, did you pay the bill? Girl, that's what I was like, girl, did you pay it? This ain't got nothing to do with you being black, girl. Did you pay the bill? Cal has some dirt on you, so she said, girl, why you running your mouth, girl, you ain't even paid your bill. That's how I looked. That's how I took it. I didn't take it the way that Garcelle said it. So here we go with Bose. And she says that Sutton basically called her an angry black woman. Now this is how my brain took what I saw on TV. Bose literally said in the confessional, and this was after the girls were coddling Sutton at Dorit's home when Dorit insinuated again that she is a drunk, even though, girl, you got me confused with your husband. When I tell you, girl, the way that Dorit was swinging Sutton every which way but Lucy's reunion, girl, there's no way that Dorit would have ever been able to say the stuff to me that she was saying to Sutton at all. Girl. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So they were coddling Sutton at the door at Dorit's home. In the confessional, Bose said, "I'm pissed." That's what she said. "I'm pissed." And then she said something along the lines of, "Why are they coddling her?" I'm paraphrasing. "They have no couth." Then in the after show, which is the show after the show, keep up with me now. So in the after show, which is the show after the show, Sutton then says, based off of them talking about the show, "What did I do, Bose, to make you almost angry at me?" And then Bose switches that up and says that Sutton basically called her an angry black woman. No, you called yourself an angry black woman. You said, "I'm pissed." So if Sutton just watched you say in the confessional, "I'm pissed," and it's due to the women coddling Sutton at Dorit's home and you saying they have no coop, then why would Sutton not think, "What did I do to make her almost angry with me?" The same way I thought Garcelle was pulling shit out of her ass when she pulled that stunt the first season, I think that Bose is definitely pulling out her ass too. I have no issue. If you've watched my reviews, I have no issue calling out the girls when they act like Karens or colorists or whatever franchise or girls we talking about. I have no problem calling it out. But I think that if we're gonna call it out, we need to call it out and it needs to be a real example. Because this is not a real example of Sutton calling Bose an angry black woman. We can go down the road of playing the game of, oh, what's the difference between angry and pissed? What's the difference between being called African American or black? Girl, what's the difference between being, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference between somebody calling somebody a secretary or an executive assistant? What's the difference between somebody calling somebody a hoe or a slut? Girl, what's the difference between an escort or a prostitute? Girl, like at the end of the day, it's all the same. It didn't happen. Bose, it didn't happen. She did not call you an angry black woman. She didn't. Now, if you have any other example to use, then let's go forward. But in this one, it didn't happen. Um, Sutton does say Bose was yelling at her. Bose was not yelling, but Bose was very stern in her position when she walked over. She was. She was, but she was not yelling. Um, Dorit, when I tell you, baby, that Dorit pulled a Jedi mind trick. When I tell you, Sutton had to be high. Either Sutton had to be high or either Sutton. You know what I think it is? I think Sutton is just not good at reunions. It's something about Sutton that she can put on and deliver throughout the season. But when she gets to the reunion, I don't think I've ever recalled a season where Sutton, and she could have, and I just don't recall again, but I don't recall a time where I can remember Sutton just having a great reunion. Uh, and I'm thinking maybe it's something about the reunions. I don't know. I don't know if it's because she has less because at least when she's shooting the scenes with the girls, she has more control, I guess. And in this scenario, I guess she doesn't know the answer, the questions that Andy is going to ask. I don't know. I don't know. But I put Dorit pulled a Jedi mind trick. Andy basically mentions, um, he brings up the whole insinuation of Sutton being a drunk. Um, he mentions a tweet of Dorit responding to someone calling Sutton a drunk. And then she responded with hashtag facts. Girl, I think Dorit forgot she responded to somebody on Twitter because she said, "Oh." When she said, "Ooh," I think she said, "Ooh." She scratched her head. "Ow!" Baby. I hollered. Girl. Um, Okay, and then she says that it's funny because the lie that you say I'm perpetuating started with you. Because Sutton did an interview, I think in 2020, and she said it was a joke about her waking up starting to drink at 10 a.m. in the morning. Which I feel like it probably wasn't a joke because if that was during the pandemic, girl, a lot of people was drinking, a lot of people was doing a girl, no telling what people was doing, right? But nonetheless, Sutton says that it was a joke. And then Dorit says the reality is that is the reality. I said, girl. And it's no. The reality is your husband said on TV and said that after your home got robbed, broken into, that he didn't know if you was being dramatic or if it was really PTSD from the robbery. That's the reality. The reality is while you trying to measure my drink, you should be measuring your husband's because he's the alcoholic. The reality is your husband is a monster according to you. The reality is you said your husband is a bad dad. The reality is you said that your husband only sees his kids on Saturday nights when he's in town. Girl, hello? That is the reality. You just assuming over here. The reality is, girl, you were 4 months behind on your mortgage. The reality is, while you're talking about the road that I live on, girl, the road that you almost traveled was to a homeless shelter. That's the reality. Girl. She says, if I wanted to paint you as an alcoholic, I could have. No, if you wanted to paint your husband as an alcoholic, girl, we all could. Girl, matter of fact, we ain't even got to do it because you done already said it. Dorit, to me, is the easiest read on the stage. Dorit and Erica Jane. And the simple fact that Sutton just kind of just sat there and let Dorit swing her every which way but loose, I was like, girl, you don't open up your mouth. The girls don't really like to go to, like, to me, Dorit was not going to hell, but she was swinging Dorit. And I don't know what it would like, girl, please. Ain't no way Dorit would have been able to open up her mouth and say a goddamn thing to me. Dorit says, so you can joke, but we can't. Sutton says basically, yes, girl. I don't know if I'm more frustrated at Sutton. Girl, open up your mouth and tell her straight up, listen, bitch, what I'm telling you is if I want to make a joke about my life, I can. We don't fuck with each other like that. So, yes, you can't joke about what I got going on. I can joke. Even this bitch beside me, Garcelle, can probably joke, but you can't. And that's what I'm trying to say, and that's what you need to understand. No, you can't joke about nothing because we not rocking with each other like that. What's so hard for you to get that through your brain, girl? That's how she needs to talk. That's how she needs to talk to Dorit. Dorit is acting like she just don't understand. When the fact of the matter is, if you really not cool with nobody like that, you can't joke with me like that, girl. That's it. It's literally 1+1 = 2. If we was cool like that, then maybe you might get away with a joke or two. Anyways, the Sutton kick women when they're down. I don't know if Sutton kicks women when they're down. Like to me, Erica Jane, and y'all know, let me say something. Erica Jane and the mess that happened with Tom. Erica Jane gonna have to just eat that. She's just gonna have to. And I've said this numerous times in past reviews. Erica, sweetie, your husband was out here stealing from widows, victims, and orphans, burn victims and orphans. Sutton had just met Erica Jane. I don't know this hoe. Okay. And I don't know what she got going on. So naturally, people are going to ask questions. Because the people say your husband is a bona fide thief. So if your husband is a bona fide thief, then I don't know what you got going on. Erica gonna have to let it go. She'll have to let it go. Her scenario is necessarily not the same as some of the other women, probably. Sutton, you had some real. I mean, not Sutton. Erica had some real shit going on, and even if it's not necessarily her, it was your husband, girl. Is Sutton? What was the question? I forgot. Oh, does Sutton kick women when they're down? Sutton could probably be a little nicer. She could. She could. I'm not gonna say her and lie. She could. Sutton is a type that I think when she gets frustrated, um, she doesn't know how to be sensitive with you. Right? Does it take away that Sutton could still be telling the truth? Because multiple things can exist. You could be telling the truth and still not being sensitive to a situation. You know what I'm saying? Um, Garcelle says she's really pissed right now and doesn't want to answer any more questions. Girl, when I tell you Garcelle quit, can I just say something? I'm gonna go ahead and say something. I'm gonna get this over with because I'm tired of talking about Beverly Hills. Garcelle quit at the end of the reunion. She took a sip of her drink and then she picked up her skirt and then she said, "I'm out." Girl, when Andy, I ain't gonna lie, when Andy said, "Oh no, for real," girl, when he said, "Oh no, for real," when I said, "Baby, I screamed." Um, I didn't see any of what people were saying happen at the reunion about Bose saying that Dorit should have sued Garcelle. I didn't see any of that. Again, I watched the Peacock version, so maybe it was on the other version. The TV, you know. Um, either Garcelle, people don't have to have some this deep reason to quit a job, right? It could just be, I'm over this girl. I'm tired of this shit. I think because we have made the housewives world this mega thing that nobody just walks away from, right? Even Kenya has said nobody walks away from housewives, right? I think Lisa Rinna say it too? I can't remember, girl. I think I'm almost sure Kenya Moore said it. So I think we made it this thing where like nobody just walks away from housewives. Like you quit, who quits that? Like it's this big thing, right? So I was over here really like wrecking my brain, like, why did Garcelle quit? And I was like, girl, maybe because she was just over it. And that's where I'm at with. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I was wrecking my brain trying to figure out why did she quit. And I was just like, maybe because she was just over it and she wanted to quit. And that's just where I'm at with it. Um, I think she was over it. This is fake, girl. Sutton, you a fake asshole. You know what I'm saying, girl? I'm over it, so I'm done. And I just think that's what it was. I don't think it. I don't know. Again, maybe something did happen. They, just like Jennifer Tilly said, girl, there's so much footage that is shot and not used to the point where, girl, they can make 3 seasons out of 1 season. Um, so again, maybe something happened at the reunion and we're just not privy to it. And that could have been what pissed Garcelle off. I don't know. Or it just could have been something plain and simple. Girl, I'm over this. I just want to quit. That's it. People quit jobs every day, y'all. It's not that big of a deal. That's how I'm looking at it. Sutton says she doesn't feel liked. Erica Jane says, I want to like you. I just want to trust you. This is the thing. Like, they like to play in people's face on this show, right? Like, and I've been saying this since girl for a long time. Erica don't like Sutton. I mean, she literally just said it. I want to like you. I just want to trust you. So when Sutton says she doesn't feel liked, you're admitting to not liking her. You literally said, I want to like you. I just want to trust you. You don't like Erica does not like Sutton. Erica does not like Sutton because Sutton was asking all of those questions when Erica was going through what she was going through. This is the thing. The girls really don't want to tell their like for example, Cal. Cal does not want to tell. Cal wants to tell what she wants to tell, right? So even though Cal can come on and insinuate that Mauricio did something, how dare you come back and ask me about what I insinuated? Even though I insinuated that Mauricio did something, when Sutton comes back and says, "Well, he cheated on you," right? Then all of a sudden, I didn't say that. Okay, no, you didn't necessarily say it, but here we go with the insinuation. Well, girl, what the hell did you mean? Because I'm sure everybody else thought that, girl, that's what you thought. Because I think even Andy said, "Well, girl, now you acting up too." Girl, you acting up too. Girl, that's how Bowles will say it. Anyways, um, Sutton says that she felt ganged up on the boat. Here go Kyle lying again. Girl, well, no one said anything except for Erica. That's a lie. Erica said something. Dorit jumped in it. And Kyle, you said something too. Go back and watch the clip. You didn't even hear the conversation. You automatically jumped in and took Erica's side. Hello? And you were not even there for the majority of the conversation, girl. You was out having a conversation with Dorit. And you came in trying to explain to Sutton what Erica possibly meant. You don't know what the hell she meant because you wasn't there when she said it. But again, that's another example of Kyle blindly following or taking Erica Jane's side. Dorit tells Sutton that she needs to recognize how low you go. Girl, y'all tell me, how low has Sutton went with Dorit? Because Sutton ain't went low, low, low. Going low, low, low. It's talking when you try to act like where I'm living. Girl, I live in Beverly Hills, bitch, and you're trying to act like I live in the slums of the slum. Going low is me saying that you and your motherfucking kids was almost in a homeless shelter, ho. That's going low, girl. Going low is why you trying to worry about what's in my cup. You should have been worried about your alcoholic, fucked up husband's cup. That's going low. Going low is, girl, the reality is, girl, nobody believe your house got robbed. And even your homegirl Andy just said, well, maybe it's because they left the cell phone by the gate. Girl, that's going low. Okay? That's the reality. Okay? We can go low. Girl, we can go low. Girl, I ain't went low. I just called you broke. And that right there was enough to shake the table. All I did was call you broke. Andy asked Garcelle why she pissed. She said she doesn't get any grace in the group. And no one smiled at her. Listen, girl, all I can say is this. I do think it's something to be said that I have heard this story kind of being repeated amongst different people. I remember Crystal saying that with this group of women, if they don't understand it, I can't remember her exact words, but I remember Crystal saying like if they don't understand it, they won't validate it if they don't understand it, right? I've heard Sutton say, girl, y'all get over stuff, y'all forgive each other just like that. But when it's me, girl, I have to scratch and crawl back to the top and beg for your forgiveness. Even when Sutton tried to bring up, you know, hold up, what did she say? I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. It was something along the lines of Erica Jane when they were asking Sutton about kicking people when they were down, blah blah blah. Sutton basically tried to change the course of the conversation and say, "Well, girl, did you have that same energy when they basically talking about Dorit and Erica Jane? I mean, when Dorit and Kyle pretty much kind of kicked you when you were down?" And she was like, "Well, we already talked about that, and I cussed them out." But the fact of the matter is, girl, their husband sat on TV knowing that it was a white man or a white woman in their living room or in the kitchen, wherever they were at, with a big ass camera on their shoulders, and they laughed at you. Girl, your friends' husbands laughed at you. And I think the girls even kind of had a little giggle with it too. If anything, that should hurt you more than me, girl, because we don't even really know each other like that. These are supposed to be your sisters. Hello? Hello? And that's just what it is. But anyways, child. Girl, where am I at, girl? I don't even know where I'm at. Oh yeah. And then Garcelle. Garcelle says, basically about her, she doesn't receive any grace. So all I'm saying is, we've heard Crystal say something along the same lines of, "Girl, these girls not really wanting to understand or show compassion if they don't really it's not they're going to validate they won't validate your feelings unless they understand it." Then you have Sutton, who's said what she said about, y'all forgiving each other, but then, girl, when it's me, girl, I gotta beg and get down on my knees for forgiveness. And you have Garcelle saying, "Girl, I feel like I have no grace in this group." So it's something to be said that you have numerous folk, girl, saying pretty much the same thing about the other women in this group. Erica Jane don't have nothing going on, but they talking about her son. That's how you know Erica Jane don't have nothing going on. The simple fact that we don't even talk about that son on the show, and now they're talking about the son in the ASAP Rocky trial. I said, girl, because her son basically had to testify in ASAP Rocky's trial. Girl, I don't care. Girl, Erica Jane ain't got shit going on. Girl, Tom, she said she'll visit Tom when he die. That's what she said. She said right now it wouldn't make any sense because she has basically moved on from that. And if she was to even ask him any questions, she more than likely knows she won't get any answers. So what's the point? And that did make sense. Like, what's the point of me going to visit him when I'm probably going to get pissed off? I'm going to ask questions. He won't give me the answers to the questions. So I'm just going to leave it alone. So the next time I see him, it may sound harsh, is when he's passed away. I'll go visit him. I'll go to the wake. I was like, okay, girl, whatever. Sutton and Big Reba, girl, I don't know, girl. Big Reba is a white woman, an old white woman from the South. Um, I do believe when it comes to Reba and Sutton's father, I think Reba does deserve some grace. Um, I believe that father was probably held. I know he had mental health issues, but I believe that father was held on wheels. Um, Sutton's mother saying that she doesn't miss their dead father or her dead husband says a lot. Um, and also, we have to take into account that that man took himself out while Sutton's mother was at the house when he did it. You know what I'm saying? So I just like there's some things that we should give grace to Big Reba. Um, it is what it is. Some people didn't like how Big Reba interacted with Garcelle. For me, it was what it was. I felt like Garcelle didn't have no business in that lady's face, asking her nothing about her relationship with her daughter. Girl, you don't even know that lady. Girl, you were supposed to do what Cal did. Well, you know how Cal came in and minded her business and went for a jog. That's what Big Reba. I mean, that's what Garcelle was supposed to do too. But okay, this is just another example of Garcelle being a friend to Sutton. This is the thing. Sutton always wanted to be a part of the cool girl group. Now she feels like she's a part of that group, but the fact of the matter is they don't like you, girl. And if Sutton comes back next season, girl, they'll swinging you every which way but loose. You really think that Sutton is coming back next season and not Garcelle, and um, Erica Jane, who've been waiting to get her fingers around Sutton's neck, and Dorit, baby, please. Girl, you going to have Dorit grabbing Sutton by her arms and Erica Jane grabbing Sutton by her feet, and they're going to be swinging her just like this. And girl, Kyle going to probably get in and get her a couple of licks. And I'm sure Bo's gonna probably get in and get her a couple of licks too. She already said she called her an angry black woman. Sutton is on and popping next season, baby girl. Um, but anyways, but yeah, Big Reba don't even like her daughter. So you think she give a fuck about Garcelle? That's all I'm saying, girl. Mo and Kyle, girl, it's over. The only thing I can think of is the reason why Kyle, and I think I said this before in the video. I think the reason why Kyle is taking it so hard is because this is what popped up in my head. Now, this may make sense. Some people said it made sense, but I hope this makes sense to y'all if y'all haven't heard me say this before. Everybody has, I ain't gonna say everybody, but I think Garcelle, Kathy, I think Sutton, I'm sure Dorit, I'm sure Erica have all heard the rumors of Mauricio being in the streets. We just ain't never had, girl, we ain't never had no receipts, right? I didn't start watching till season 10. Maybe there were some receipts prior to season 10, but I haven't really heard or seen anything that would say, like, that we know for a fact that Mauricio was cheating on Kyle. So in my head, the reason why Kyle, even though Kyle was out here prancing around with that lesbian, Morgan, I think that in Kyle's head, when she saw Mauricio in the airport with that white girl, I think that for her, that made it real because this entire time, Mauricio has always been like, this is what I'm thinking. Okay, this is not facts. Kyle knows that Mauricio has stepped out on her a couple of times, probably a few times, but he's been careful, and ain't no hoe come forward, right? Came forward, so you ain't got no receipts on my man. Now we actually see that Mauricio is out in the streets with this girl. Now they're separated, right? They're separated, but nonetheless, it's almost like he's went this entire time making sure he covered up all his tracks, making sure that nobody knew what he was doing. Now he just doesn't care. So now I think in Kyle's head, oh shit, he really he's really done because he's never gotten caught. He's never been caught up before. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like he's been careful. He ain't never been prancing these hoes around before, but now he is, and he's all in public with it, which means he doesn't care. Before, at least he had enough. I know this is gonna sound ghetto, what I'm about to say, but before he had enough respect for the family to make sure we ain't know about his hoes. Now he's out here, and I think that's when the light bulb went off in Kyle's head, like, oh shit, this nigga really is done because, girl, he's out here and he doesn't care. Where before he at least tried to cover up his tracks. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I'm trying to get in the head of Kyle's. Okay. Anyways, she says the women are snakes. Are they snakes? Because it sounds like a lot of y'all husbands be wanting to get bit. Okay. She was about to buy a house across from Lisa Vanderpump, of course. Andy definitely wants that to happen. He messy. Kyle going through the motions of being whether or not she's gay. She doesn't want to embarrass her girl. She doesn't want to embarrass her family. Girl, can we have some kitchen table talk? I'm about to say something. This is about to sound so crass. Okay. Kyle, girl, stop acting like your daughter's possibly ain't no pussy. Okay. I wouldn't even put it past Portia. Portia was 16, 17. How you know she ain't out her girl kissing on some little girl? Girl, you got 4 daughters. I'm sure one of them had a lesbian experience in college. Girl. And if they haven't, girl, okay, girl, I guess it's all good in the hood. But girl, for Kyle to be acting like your grown ass daughters possibly a girl dipped in a lady pond, they damn self, just to see what it was like. Like, I don't know, like, I get it. Kyle is going. This is the thing. For us who have struggled with our sexuality, it is a journey. I think the reason why I don't feel sorry for Kyle is because Kyle prances Morgan around, brings her onto the show, and then gets upset when we have questions. Well, if you're going to prance this girl around, bring her on the show, girl, have her sign consent forms, mic her up, girl, get tattoos together, do videos together, girl, go to Paris together. They still hanging out to this very day. Then we're not supposed to, like, I don't like shit like that. If we cannot, at a minimum, talk about who you are in a relationship with on the Real Housewives of whatever, girl, you got to leave the show. It's one thing for Morgan not to want to be on the show. Okay, cool. I'm always conflicted about whether your spouse or partner should be on the show because I think it's unfair to the other people who have to show their spouses, right? So I'm kind of like always back and forth. But okay, let's just say Morgan doesn't want to be on the show. Cool. That don't mean that you don't get to not talk about your relationship. But then we look up and we see you prancing. We see you prancing as lesbian around West Hollywood at the farmers market. Girl, you in Paris. Girl, get you and yaya. Girl. Genshin, Genshin, ya, 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 ya. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's supposed to say nothing about it. Girl, what? Girl, like, it's hard for me to feel sorry or recognize Cal's journey dealing with her sexuality because of the way that she's played in our faces. I think it would be completely different if we didn't know shit about Morgan, right? We ain't seen no pictures of them. And then Cal came out and said, listen, I have been going through some shit behind the scenes. Girl, all of a sudden I met this woman and I had these feelings. I don't know where they were coming from, but I didn't want to talk about it. Y'all don't even know who she is. I think that I would be like, oh, girl. But that's not what Cal did. That's not what she did. She did the complete opposite of that. So even when I see the LGBTQ and some of the allies get online and they're like, oh, you shouldn't force her to come out. Girl, ain't nobody forcing that bitch to come out. She playing in our faces. She's playing with the journey if we're going to be honest about it. Girl. Um, Girl, that was pretty much it, girl. Garcelle said, I'm out. Dorit said that this is really unprofessional. Garcelle, that's really unprofessional. Girl, it is what it is, girl. She quit. It's not that big of a deal to me. Like I said, I was really over here wrecking my brain at one point. Like, why would she quit? Why would she quit, girl? I don't really see anything major that happened. Like, people are saying X, Y, and Z, and I didn't see none of that happen. So, like, why would she quit? Then I just realized, girl, she quit because she was probably over it. It's really that, like, it's it. She quit because she was over it. Girl, I'm not having fun no more. Girl, I use this platform for what I need to use this platform for. I restarted my career. Girl, I have deals with NBC. Girl, I have deals with Lifetime. Whatever, blah blah blah. Girl, we good. I built my houses. Girl, I'm gone. Girl, y'all got the game fucked up. And I think that's all it was. That's it. At least that's what I'm going. Because like I said, girl, I'm not gonna. I was on the merry-go-round, really trying to figure out why Garcelle quit, and then I just stopped and said, "Girl, she quit because she just didn't want to do it anymore," and that's it. All right, y'all. That's it. Um, Garcelle. I mean Sutton, girl, good luck. I will say this much to add to it. I do believe that she also realized that Sutton was not her friend. I do think it's a tad bit effed up that Sutton didn't even go run after her to check on her. She waited until they pretty much were dismissed. We've seen Garcelle have Sutton's back for real, right? Um, the girls always wanted to get Sutton out of the picture. Garcelle didn't want to play game. Didn't want to play the. See, Garcelle came in moving the way she wanted to move, and the girls didn't like that. Can we just call a thing a thing? I think that's really what a part of it too. They wanted. I think they've been wanting to get Sutton out for a very long time, and because Garcelle would not get on board with playing the mean girl game, she was cool with Sutton, and now Garcelle is gone, right? So now they can go after Sutton. I think the goal was to, if we can't get, since we can't get Sutton out because Garcelle is going to protect her, so we're going to get Garcelle out. That's why when Andy asked Erica Jane and Bose at the reunion, how do they feel about Garcelle leaving the show? They just sat there and got quiet. And then Erica Jane eventually said, won't he do it? And then she said it was an inside joke between her and Bose. And then 24 hours later, Lisa Rinna was on Instagram posting a story about the Fox Force 5. Hello. Anyways, it is what it is, girl. It don't even matter no more, girl. The season is over. Garcelle quit, girl. Good luck. All right. We'll see y'all next season, I guess. All right. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.